Yeah, hello, Erlyn.
All right. Okay. So they updated my portal. I'm so sorry. Okay. How are you doing today?
Yeah, today I still work
Work from home?
from home. Yeah,
Ah, that's nice. Is
and
that nice?
I'm quite busy
uh,
at that time. So although I stay at home, I
ah,
still work on for almost working hour.
the entire working hours.
Yeah, yeah, for
Mm.
almost working hour, and I think that it helped me to not to feel boring when I stay at home for all day.
Oh, so you are really occupied with a lot of work in the office, even though
Yeah,
you are working at home, right?
yeah.
Mm.
And today I heard from TV that the number new cases in Ho Chi Minh City
Mm.
is lower
Wow!
than this yesterday,
Oh,
and that
yeah.
one yesterday. And I think
That's
I
a good
hope
news.
yes, it's a good news, and I hope that Ho Chi Minh City can control the coronavirus soon.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Mm-mm. Wow, that's really good. So at least there are good news happening, right, in
yeah,
Ho Chi Minh City as of the moment.
yeah,
Well, as per Philippines, we have already increasing. We have number actually in one part of the Philippines, in the southern part of the Philippines, there are like 132
oh,
doctors and nurses who got positive with COVID 19.
oh, oh, oh,
Mm,
oh.
that's
Yeah,
why we have to be very, very careful because we
yeah,
have a lot of Delta variant cases in the
yeah,
country. So
yeah,
that makes it worse nowadays. So there. We should never be complacent. We should not be relaxed anytime at all, right? Because we don't know what could happen. So
yeah,
there. Okay. So yesterday, we were talking about this, right? We were talking about reading, the ethics of
yeah,
resume writing. So we
yeah, yeah.
finished already our vocabulary. We answered and we watched this video. Three lies you tell on your resume. Okay, and then we also started reading the first three slides, right? And
Yeah.
then we answered. Did we answer these questions? Not yet.
Answer the question. Yeah, I think not. Yes. Yeah.
Not yet. Okay, so we can still remember what we read, right? Okay, so now. But anyway, this is just based on your personal experiences. So,
Yeah.
what reasons are given for not being totally honest on your resume or CV,
Yeah.
curriculum
Or
data?
CV.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that's from my experience.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I think that's almost people 1 and 10 to strengthen the advantages or talk more about the strengthen for talk more about their strength,
Mm-hmm.
and they also want to make a good expensive for the interviewer.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So they tend to talk more about their advantages and talk a little about the disadvantages.
Mm, I see. Okay. All right. So, and then what can happen to senior managers who lie on their resume?
Yeah.
Do you need, do you think they need to be terminated right away, or we have to give them another chance? What do you think? What could be?
uh, I think uh, what can happen to senior manager who lie on their CV? I think that it is uh, it is serious when senior manager
Lie.
lie on their CV,
Mm-mm.
because when you are a senior manager, you are responsible to manage a department in a company,
Mm-mm.
or you are in charge of do you are in charge of to implement a project, for example.
Mm-mm.
So if the general director, for example, don't have exact information about you, and so and they decide to give you the position,
Mm-mm.
to give you the give you a position about something. So can give it can result in some some very big negative impact on the uh, company activity,
Mm-mm.
company business.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Yeah, that's very true, right? So you should be a good model. I think that would follow, right? So if from the very start as a senior manager they are already lying, so what more can we expect among our subordinates, right? So it
Yeah.
should really start from the leaders. So yeah. All right. So this is about you. What happens to you when you start using rationalizations?
Yeah. Rationalization.
Rational,
Yeah.
rationalizations.
Rationalization. Rationalization.
Yeah.
I think that
Rationalization.
it means that you start to make something wrong in it means that somebody start to make something wrong in his CV, and they try to make some rationalization to 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 persuade himself on it.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I think that's um I think that's mm, when you prepare to have an interview,
Mm-mm.
you for an interview to take a job in a organization, for
Yes.
example,
Mm-mm.
you you should think that the interviewer uh, can have many experience in this field,
Mm-hmm.
and they can assess you. They can evaluate you quite exactly.
Yes.
So if you make something wrong in the CV, it will have a negative impact in and then it can make um, give you it can make make the interviewer have don't have good impress about you. And
Mm.
if you are a senior manager,
Uh-uh.
when you start using rationalization,
Rationalization.
yeah, when you prepare your CV, you you should think that uh, you in your field, for example, you are you are able to apply to a senior manager.
Mm-mm.
It means that it means that you have uh, I think that in this field you have given a position. For example,
Mm-mm.
you have about 10 years of experience in the banking sector, for example, and
Okay.
not only the bank that you are applying know about it.
Mm-hmm.
Many other bank, many people working in the same field with you know about you. So if you make something wrong in the CV at this bank, and when you are accepted to this position and the working performance and your working performance is not good
Mm.
like what you talk in the CV
Mm-hmm.
or in the interview, I think it can have a negative impact to your reputation, and
Exactly.
it is quite difficult for you to apply to another bank.
True.
Yeah,
True. Yeah, very well said. I agree with what you have said. So yeah, covering the truth is not it's not really a promising it's not really a promising move, right? So
yeah,
because sooner or later the truth will reveal, and you will have to reap all the consequences of that. So rationalization is not an answer. All right. Okay, let's move
yeah.
to question 4. What
Question four.
are the
Yeah.
advantages of asking an old boss?
Um. Old boss. Yeah. Okay. I think that an old boss can give an old boss. They must have many experience about not only in your in in this field in this in your they are very they have many experience not only in a specific
Mm-hmm.
field, but they also have can give you many good advices on how to have a good interview or how to express yourself, how to
Mm-hmm.
how to assess or evaluate something, for example. And for me, I always want to meet my old boss.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I can learn many things from him or her, not only in my specific my specific work, but
Uh-uh.
in many things in my life, and I can apply it in when I want to move to another bank and
Mm-hmm.
prepare my CV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think there's no such as wise, right? As an old boss who are already well experienced from the field that he
yeah,
is or she is handling, right? So there's no harm in asking, right? So we have to be
yeah,
very humble and open about that. So, and the advantage of that is we will gain what? Knowledge, right?
yeah,
We will gain knowledge whenever we ask, and we because it could be very humbling to ask questions from someone, especially an old boss, because you left him already, right? But
yeah,
still, the knowledge is there, and it could give us the opportunity also to learn more from them. Okay, so as a summary, right? So
yeah,
of this lesson, we could see that lie or not. So most of the time liars, if you are spotted, you get fired right away, right? So if you want your resume to look really good, then tell the truth. Okay, over
Yeah.
50% lie on resumes, and that's true, especially in the US, because they really want to brag about what they know, right? So I remember I was contemplating also when I was looking at this lesson, and then I saw myself that there was a time also that I bragged something on my resume. So there, because I want my resume to really look good. That's why some of those information are not really true. Okay? So the
Yeah.
solution is thin line between honesty and dishonesty. There is a thin line between honesty and dishonesty. So what would be our solution? Front page test, other shoe test, former supervisors, employee, and reference. We have to give them a very, very accurate information about this. Okay? So let's move.
Yeah.
So this one. So let's discuss these two situations and decide what you would do in each case. Number
Yeah.
one, you discover that one of your top employees who has done
Yeah.
an excellent job for the last 15 years lied about their qualifications when she joined the company. So what are you going to do? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
15 years? Can you imagine
15
before?
years. I think with the time 15 years
Mm.
and the excellent performance in his job. I think
Mm.
that the the qualification is not important now,
Yes.
and I think that's at at that time when they apply to my company, there must be a reason, a reason that he had to light on his qualification.
Mm.
But
Mm.
with the time, quite long time, he proved himself. He tried his best to finish his job, to
Yes.
do his job well. I think that it is his best contribution
To the
to my
company.
company. Yeah. So
Yes.
qualification is not important in this situation.
Yeah, the validity of the qualifications during the time that he was hired or she was hired is no longer valid, right? So, because it has been 15 years, so
Yeah, 15 years.
this person must be already an expert of whatever field he or she
Yeah,
is handling in the office, right? So there.
yeah.
But at least what would you say? What would you say just in case? You know, as a reminder to this person, because you found out something is wrong, right? So at least what would you remind him?
Remind him. I think that's I think that I will say that I know you for 15 years,
Mm-mm.
so you do very well, and
Okay.
you have a good performance.
Mm-hmm.
But in general, and the job qualification is not important now. But
Yeah.
I think that uh, I I don't encourage as a employee or as a candidate do like you, because
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
if every candidate apply the CV to me with a lie with a light qualification, it
Mm-hmm.
is very difficult for me to assess them, and it is possible that I can choose a wrong person,
Yeah.
and no, not all candidates like you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the best word it is the candidate should apply their choose qualification.
True. Yeah, so that would be a very good reminder, right? let him
yeah,
be reminded that honesty is the best policy in our company, right? So from
yeah,
the very start, you're just so lucky that we were not able to find it during the first few months that you are working with us, right?
yeah,
So it took us 15 years for us to find it out, and you are already a valuable asset to the company. So good for you.
yeah,
But
yeah,
we still hope, like what you said, we still hope that nobody will follow whatever you have done, right? Because
yeah,
proper assessment is very important based on your knowledge and skills, because this will also be our determining factor on what kind of training you are going to provide to your employee upon hiring,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. All right, let's move to our second situation.
Situation. Yeah,
One of your
one of the
Go ahead.
employees. Yeah, one of the employees. He's a good. He is not a good worker.
Mm,
He has asked you to give him a good reference.
reference.
Reference. You would be happy if this employee left
The
the
company.
company.
Mm.
Yeah. I think that's um, I cannot do it because based on my reference, another company can base on my reference to decide to choose him. So I don't want I don't want another company make um,
Suffer.
yeah suffer it or make a wrong decision
Mm.
about my because of my reference.
Yeah, because of your
Yeah,
good reference to that person.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah.
Mm. Mm.
And then I can talk with your the employees that it's not fair.
Mm.
You work in my company, you don't have a good performance, so I
Performance.
cannot give you a good reference because it's not fair. It not
Yeah.
reflect your working.
Mm-mm,
Yeah.
mm-mm. That's true. I agree with you. But was there ever, in reality, Zoe, have you ever experienced someone like this as a manager or a supervisor, wherein somebody called you, hey, he put your name and gave us your phone number, and you are his character reference? Uh, do you know this person? So, and then
Yeah,
yeah. So what did you
yeah,
did you become
and
honest?
I will talk about the I will talk the truth about the specific case in my company.
Mm-mm.
For example, I will describe with him that in my company the job that him responsible is. For example, I will try to describe it as detailed as possible.
Mm-mm.
And in this kind of job, his performance in this kind of work, what the result of his performance is ABC. But
Mm-mm.
I cannot.
Guarantee.
I don't know in the new environment, in the new
Uh-uh.
job, what he can do it well.
Uh-uh.
I don't know about it. I don't know. I only provide the fact and finger
Mm-mm.
about his performance at my specific
Mm-hmm.
work in my bank, for
Mm-hmm.
example.
Mm. Well, well, that's very true. You have to be very, very honest, right? So that
Yeah,
nobody can be deceived of what kind of employee he could become in that new
yeah,
company that he wants to
yeah,
apply for, right? So
yeah.
there. Well,
Maybe in my bank he don't work well, but
yeah,
maybe in another company he work well.
yeah,
I don't know it. Yeah,
yeah. So you still give him what we call the benefit of the doubt, right?
yeah,
maybe in the environment that we provided to him, he did not perform well. So, but still, you could give him a chance, and it's up to you if you're going to accept him, because maybe in
Yeah.
that company that he is applying for, he could perform already because he might
Yeah.
learn his lesson, right? So
Yeah.
there, yeah, well, very well said. I think that's a good manager, right? We do not let somebody down because we feel like they are a loser in our company or they are not performers in our company. We still give the final decision to the company that they are applying for, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
At the same time, on the other side, we become true to what we have experienced about that person, right?
Yeah.
All right. Wow, what a very meaningful discussion. You're truly like a manager. The way you think, the way you responded, you're really very good. I can really sense that you're very good in handling people. So keep it up. So with regards to your speaking skills, I'm so proud to say that I'm hearing less mispronounced words at this
Yeah.
point in time. So that's a good one. So
Yeah.
unlike before, too many mispronounced words, but now very, very few words were mispronounced. Even though you were reading, even though you are in impromptu speaking, there are only few words that were being mispronounced. So that's a great, great improvement. Keep it up. And of
Yeah.
course, your comprehension skills is already there. So I can attest how good you are with that. And the fluency is there already. So all you have to do is just continue practicing because as I always tell to my students, practice makes perfect. Okay, Zoom?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So well done today. I'll see you again on Friday. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. See you on Friday early.
Good night.
Good
Bye
night.
bye.
Bye bye.